Hello, welcome back to the Hot Lunch eBay shop. Today is Thursday. It's pretty late. I think it's after 10, maybe, let's see, 10, it's 10:16 p.m. And I have kind of a lot of work to get done tonight. I have 4 orders that came in today that need to get packed up. One of them is possibly the highest or second highest profit sale I've had in the last few years. I'll show you all of these items and I'll tell you the whole story of how I got them, how I sold them, how much money they made me, all that stuff in a little bit. First, I'm going to talk about some stuff that I picked up last week. I'm not quite ready for, okay, it's Thursday, so tomorrow I'm planning to go out sourcing again. Last week, I brought home a lot of stuff from a church sale, from a few garage sales, from an estate sale, and from 2 thrift store trips. That all happened on Friday and Saturday. And I haven't gotten all of that stuff really ready to list yet. So most of it is ready, and I'm going to show you the things that I just have to take pictures of, and then they'll be ready to list. A few duds, items that turned out to be bad buys or questionable buys. I'll show you those things too. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to just show you these things and then we'll get into the kitchen and start packing. So let's go. All right, let's start with the duds. First thing is this little package of mosquito repellent candles. I got this at the church sale. Everything I got there, I averaged out the price, and each item I paid like $1.37.5 on each of those things. So this thing I spent just over $1 on. I tried listing this last night, and it kept the eBay interface kept kind of crashing on me. I would put all this information in the item specifics, and then go down to the bottom and hit submit or enter or whatever you call it, list, and it would say you have put this in a category that requires you to put or this is an item that requires you to put an EPA registration number, and you put it in a category that does not allow that. So it was in like home and garden something, and then it was like the last part of it was mosquito nets, which obviously this is not that. So I kept going back, changing the category to chemical mosquito repellents or whatever, putting all that information in, then going to the bottom and hit submit again, and then it would come back with the exact same information. I scroll back up and it's back in mosquito nets category again. So I probably went through that 10 times trying to get this thing listed before I finally just did not put the EPA registration number in. I hit submit. Then it said you need to put the EPA number in, so I put that in, and then it was able to accept it. Somehow the sequence of events was causing me problems. But once it accepted it, it said these refills have been recalled by the EPA or whatever. This box is from 2003, so I guess they used to be allowing something that was poisonous to be sold by SC Johnson, a family company, and now they don't allow it to be sold. So there were sales of this, so sometimes people figure out a way to bypass the system and they sell something that's not technically allowed on eBay. I'm not going to do that. This thing, the ones that have sold, just sold for like between $19 and $24. So I don't care that much about making $20 that I want to try to circumnavigate eBay's controls and possibly get a strike against my account, or maybe get banned even. So this I'll probably never list this. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe it goes in the garage sale pile. Maybe it just goes in the garbage. Another thing I got over here, this big mailbox. I thought it was brand new. I felt like the box was sealed, but once I started getting ready to open it and list it, I was looking at it closer, and the box had been resealed, and it's missing all the hardware that's in there. Like, there's no way for the lid to stay closed. There's supposed to be hardware to attach it to a post on the end of your driveway or whatever. So all of that stuff is missing. So now I have to figure out what this thing is worth without that stuff, or if it's even worth anything. So With all that stuff, I think it was worth between like 40 and 60. So I probably would have listed it at 50 bucks. I paid $4.99 for it, so that's a good return on investment for me. I like to do 10 times. But now, without that hardware, without anything, I just don't know if it's worth selling at all. So this might end up, I don't know where this is going to end up, but probably not going to get listed, which is a shame. You know, that would have been a good sale, $5 into 50. And then of the things that I'm going to be taking pictures of tonight, I had another sort of a dud. I bought at that church sale, so I paid $1.37.5. I bought Upwords, the game Upwards, you know. It's like Scrabble, but you can stack the tiles on top of each other. And I pulled it out. It's supposed to have 100 tiles, and it had 99. So it's not worth that much. It's probably like a $24 game. So it's not worth it for me to try to figure out which tile is missing and find a replacement for it or anything. So I was looking at, I quickly looked at replacement tiles to see if anybody was selling them. And they're selling them in lots of like 60 and 80. And I'm not going to buy those and try to fix this game up just to make $24. I'll spend $15 buying the tiles. But people are selling, pretty regularly selling the racks to put the tiles in, only for like $9 or $10. So I might as well try to get a little bit of something out of this. I'll list these for Upwards racks for $9.99. If they don't sell within a year or whatever, they'll just get deleted and recycled or whatever. So I'll get pictures of these tonight and get those listed. The next thing that I have there that's just about ready to go is this Upwards game, or catchphrase game. I mean, Upwards was the other game. This is catchphrase. My sister loves this game. She always brings it to play at Christmas or holidays or whatever. I just recently sold catchphrase, the like adult version that had swear words and stuff in it. That went pretty well. I think I sold that for $50. This one they had there at that everything here. Yeah, everything here is from that church rummage sale. They had a 50-cent price tag on it. It comes with the box. You know, it was in the original box, so that's good, I guess. And so even though they had a 50-cent price tag on it, I just averaged the prices out. So $1.37.5 on this, the same as everything else. And I put new batteries in it. It seems to be working fine. It has a little bit of like a dent here and here that I don't know if that's like manufacturing defect. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. Just take pictures of this thing. It's not worth that much. Like this one is not worth anywhere near what the adult language version was. I think this is going to be worth $15. I didn't look it up at the church. I mean, it had a 50-cent price tag on it. I figured I'll just buy it and see what it's worth. This guy, Polly Perk, I forgot what this is worth. Whoops, knocking my camera over. Okay, Polly Perk, this is a vintage coffee percolator. It has electrical cord is included. It has all the paperwork that came with it, and I was looking at it upstairs, and it has like a tiny bit of dirt on the outside, but the inside looks totally clean, and I have a suspicion this thing was never used at all, especially because it still has this thing like stop, never connect the cord when the coffee maker is empty, never immerse in water, and it has all of the instructions in this box. Here's like a list of authorized service centers where you can get it fixed. Here's the instructions. I think it has different coffee recipes, like spiced coffee. Anyway, this again, $1.37. I think it's worth about $50. Regal Polly Perk. These are cool. It looks, I mean, it's super 70s with these like daisies on the front of it. So I think it's like 45 or 50. I can't remember if I'm listing it for 40 or 50 or somewhere around there. Careers game. This is a vintage Parker Brothers game. I keep buying board games even though they're very often missing pieces, just like the Upwards I was talking about earlier. This one I don't know if it's missing pieces or not because I can't find a list anywhere of the components that are supposed to be included, and the instructions that come with it say, like, it has all these cards, and it just says, let's see. Equipment consists of a folding board. So there's the game board. Oh, shoot. A pack of opportunity cards and a pack of experience cards. So there's no way for me to know, like, is there supposed to be 20 of these cards? Is there supposed to be 50? Is there supposed to be 200? I don't know. It just says a pack of cards. And I Googled it a little bit and I didn't come up with an answer for that either. It's supposed to have 2 dice and it only has 1. I have a lot of replacement dice around, but this one looks probably era appropriate. It's kind of small, and I don't know if I have any that would seem like they go with this game, but I might take the time to grab a couple of dice and throw in here, because it does say it should have 2 dice. But it seems like everything's here. It has these cool score cards that are these old-timey, I think it's called Magic Slate, where you can write on here and it just shows through from this waxy surface on the back, and then you peel it off to erase it. So 1958 version, I think this is. If it was in a little better condition, I might be able to get 40 for it or something. If it's sealed, probably 70. But as it stands, this corners are pretty torn out. There's tape all over it. It's not the worst condition board game I've ever seen, but it could be better. I think it's like $25. But again, I paid $1.37.5 for it. And then, is this the last thing I have? Yeah, this is the last thing. It's these overshoe things, like shoe protectors for the winter. You can just tie these on over your shoes. I didn't even realize they were brand new until I started listing them. But here's the tag, never been worn. This brand is called Neos, N-E-O-S. Neos overshoes. It says Trilock on the back, and the bottom says Vibram. So the soles are Vibram material, whatever that is. Again, $1.37. These sets, if they weren't, I didn't think they were new, and I looked them up at the rummage sale, and I thought they were like $60 to $70. But now that I see they're new, they probably could go for as much as $120. But I'm gonna mark them $90 and try to move them quickly. That'll be a huge return on investment, so I don't need to get more than that. Okay, so that's everything new that's just about ready to list. And then there's upstairs, I have on a charger. It's like a set of Sony headphones that are wireless. They have a little base. So those are charging. I'll have to test those out and see how they do. I think if those work, they're probably $70 to $100 maybe. I'm not sure though. I haven't done much of a deep dive on the price of those yet. So I'll figure out if they work. If they do, then I'll think more about how much I should charge for them. I think probably they're not going to work. That's my guess. They look like they're relatively old radio frequency powered headphones. So yeah, that's everything. Once I get those listed, that'll be everything that I got last. That's not quite everything. I have a huge box of books I need to go through too. So I won't get any of that stuff done tonight. I'm going to wait for those headphones till later in the weekend, and probably those books too. But tomorrow morning, I'm definitely going to get up and go out thrifting. It's a little bit of a drive for me, but there's a little road, like a stretch of road that has it has a Goodwill, it has a Salvation Army, it has a Habitat for Humanity store. There's a Wings resale shop, and then there's another one that I can't remember the name of. So it's like a bunch of stuff, like all within a 2-block radius. So I think I'm going to hit that tomorrow. I'll bring the camera along and try to document my trip through the thrift store. So tune in either tomorrow or the next day for that. And then also tune in, I'm not sure when this is going to happen. I have a calendar of events around here somewhere, but it's not in front of me. But soon I'm going to be announcing the winners of the contest I'm holding, I guess, the drawing for some resizing tools, cardboard box resizing tools that was to celebrate my 500th subscriber. So if you haven't entered that drawing, go back a couple of days, maybe 4 days, and just leave a comment with the number 500. You'll see it. It's a video that says I'm giving away these tools. So yeah, then we'll announce those winners in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days. I can't remember. I don't even know what day it is right now. So all right, that's enough jibber jabbering. Let's go into the kitchen and pack up the orders, and we're going to see one pretty exciting one. So here we go. Okay, like I said, 4 orders. I pulled them all here. Let's just jump right into it. We're going to go in, let's try to go in reverse order of least valuable to most valuable. So first thing we got is this sticker, MXR guitar pedals. I have a bunch of these. I got from a guy on Craigslist, and he worked for a music store in the 1970s, and when that store went out of business, he took all of these stickers. I don't know why he thought he would keep them for 50 years, but he did, and they're not exceptionally valuable. And I kind of paid for them a little bit, but I thought they were going to sell quicker than they have. These have been sitting around for quite a while. I think I have 11 of this design left, and I think there's 3 other designs. So let's see, when did I get these? I'm going to say 2023. Let's see. No, March of 2024, I bought these. I paid $1.20 a piece for these stickers by the time I figured it out. And this one sold for $6.99, but $4 shipping, and it's only going to cost like 75 cents or something to ship it. Whatever eBay international shipping, no, eBay standard envelope costs for however much this weighs, which is going to be like 1 ounce. It's not even an ounce. So we'll call it 1 ounce. This envelope is 8 by probably 6. 8 by 6 by 1, and it's going to JL in Ohio. So nice and close. Should get there quickly. Hopefully there's a lot of reported issues with the eBay standard envelope system. I haven't had too many problems. I only ever had one. I probably only shipped 10 or 12 or maybe 15 of those. And I've had one that probably arrived fine. I never heard any issue with it, but the tracking never updated. So I was concerned that it wasn't going to get there, but it never caused me any problems. Okay, next up I have this is like a car stereo installation kit. I've got a ton of these. There was I think it was Craigslist again. There was somebody saying, I'm emptying out my electronics repair shop, and I'm just putting all this stuff in the back of the alley behind the building, and if you want it, come and get it. And so I went by there. I took a ton of these car stereo installation kits and some other stuff that's still in the garage. Like that stuff could be considered death pile. There's like somebody emptied out an entire school's inventory of paper towel dispensers, so I've got like 20 of those in the garage, and also a bunch of those kind of speakers that look like rocks that you might see at an amusement park or something. I don't know if either one of those is worth anything, but I took them and I put them in the garage, and they've been sitting there since December of 2024. So 10 to 12 months those have been hanging around waiting for me to do something with them. And this is the first one of these car stereo kits that sold. I wasn't like very optimistic that these things would sell quickly because they're mostly old cars. This is for 1995 Ford Mercury Lincoln cars. So I figure there are people that have these older cars and maybe they can't get that stuff from Amazon or somewhere else. So it took a while to sell, and it sold for almost nothing, $10.99, but I got it for free. I got this box for free. I paid for this paper, and I'm paying for this tape I'm going to close it up with, but other than that, this is $10.99 for free. Somebody just gave me $10.99. Of course, we're going to pay fees and stuff, so it won't be that much. We'll probably make $7 on this. Okay. I'm covering up this label here. This box came from Gordon Food Service GFS. If you go in there and shop, they have a big pile of boxes right by the door. So the last time I was there, I grabbed a handful of boxes, and they're nice boxes. So might as well take them. I'm just gonna write stereo on here. It weighs 1 pound 9 ounces. This box is 11 by 10 by 8. 11, 10, 8. It's going to some guy named R.O. in CA, California. So that's ready to go. And then I have a comic book here. This is called Pakin's Land or Pakin's Land. I don't really know. I got this from Unique, the Unique thrift store. And there's no sales history on it, but I saw it was signed on the cover. I think it's signed on the inside as well. And I just took a chance. There was no sales, no currently listed options, nothing to go on for a price. So what did I pay for this? I didn't pay much for it, I'm sure. $3. I paid $3 for it. Took a chance. And it was a long game. I bought this in May of 2024, so well over a year ago. This has been waiting for somebody to come along and buy it. And I have had a number of people send me messages asking about it, like they want to know, is it the complete series? And I just have to say, it doesn't seem like it because it says Volume 1 right on the cover. Or which comics are included in there, which issues. Like it's not set up that way. I don't know. I can't answer these questions. So I did some Googling and was able to answer some of those questions, I guess, but I don't know why you would expect me to be Googling when you can Google your damn self. Anyway, this book didn't sell for much, $17.99, but it's going up the door. Hopefully somebody will enjoy it. I don't know why I wrapped it like a Christmas present, but that's what I did. Now I'm gonna just put it in this box. I probably could put it in an envelope of some kind, but bubble mailer. I don't feel good about using those. If I was buying this book and it came in a bubble mailer, I'd be pretty disappointed with that seller. So I might pay 50 cents or $1 more to ship this thing by putting it in a box, but it's the way I would want to get it. I think this was a Kickstarter book, so guy probably has, this guy who wrote it, his name is Gary Shipman, probably has a relatively small following, but big enough that he was able to fund a Kickstarter and get this book published. And I don't think there ever was a volume 2, but I think there might have been another big volume that included this plus more issues. That's what I kind of learned by doing some research when people were asking me questions. So I thought the last guy was definitely going to buy it. He was, he asked me 3 or 4 questions, which is always kind of a red flag from a buyer if they're asking you too many questions ahead of time. But yeah, he never did buy it. So that's usually how the story goes with buyers who send questions ahead of time. They just disappear. So this book is pretty heavy, 5 pounds, and this box is 13 by 12 by 4. It's going to BF. We probably will not be best friends. BF in Idaho. He lives too far away. Okay, now the star of the show tonight. I sold these Alfred Hitchcock Three Investigators books from the 60s. So I got these and some other, there's 28 of these, so you won't be able to see them all. But I got these books. I got some, what was his name? Christopher Cool, teen operative or something like that. It was a spy books, teen spy books. I got some of those. I got these, and I got another one. I can't remember his name. There are these teen adventure books. This is Alfred Hitchcock. I'm sure did not have anything to do with this other than letting them use his name and charging them to use his name. And it's essentially like Hardy Boys style books. These I got at a garage sale, and those other ones I was talking about for a song. Really, there's 28 books here. They had a in a box that had written on the flap with a Sharpie that said all these books for $25. So I paid $25 for these. I was having a hard time deciding on a price because there are some editions, like this edition looks nice. There's another edition that looks exactly the same, except maybe it has a slightly different font on the 15 on the spine or something. I can't really figure out what's different about these other ones, but some of these are worth a lot. Like a single book might be $300, maybe it's like $600. It's like I don't have the knowledge, and I don't have any way to get the knowledge really quickly to figure out which of these books are worth $25 to $30 and which of these books are worth $300 to $600. So I listed this whole set at $1,200 and just thought the market will tell me if these are the rare ones or not. And I had a couple of people sending me questions saying like, look on this page, does it have this or does it have that? Look in the back cover, does it have this or that? And I pretty quickly determined from these questions I was getting that these are not the rare ones, the valuable ones. So I lowered the price from $1,200 to $800. I didn't really expect to sell it at that price, but still, there's 28 books here. They're easily worth $25 a piece. So we're not that far away from $800. What is that, like close to $700? So anyway, I lowered the price down to 800, and then last week I sent an offer out, 15% offer, I think 15%. So it was down to 680. And somebody sent me a message today saying, "Would you consider 500 on these? There's a bunch of those books in there that I need to complete my collection." And I told him, like, I was thinking, like, I'd be a fool to pass up $500 for something I only paid $25 for. But I started doing more research and seeing, like, yeah, these books are worth more than that. They have sold and they continue to sell for more than that. So if I just hang on, I can make the 680 or the 700, and I mean, I can't afford to lose $200 or $120. So I mean, I sell things for $7. You know, I'm making $7 on a sticker, so I can't just give away $120 worth of profit. So I told the guy, I think we're too far apart, and then he responded back, I could go up to 600. So I had it at 680. He offered me 600, and then I said, I'm just going to change the price to 640. We'll be right in the middle, and then if you buy them, great. If you don't, somebody else will buy them. And he bought them within like 10 seconds. So $640 for these books. I spent $25 on. Of course, eBay fees are pretty high on this. I think it was like $98 just on the final value fee. So I'm going to be making around $500 on these books, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to pack the living crap out of these, so I'm going to go in the other room and get some more boxes, and then I'll come right back. Okay, I've grabbed a few boxes, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to pack these. And I have this box that's like 12 by 12 by 6 that fits a pretty good amount, like most of the books, and then another box that's, what is this, 10 by 8 by 6. I really want to be able to double box these. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, because these boxes are pretty big already. So I'm going to try putting in, there's enough space on the top here to put another layer of cardboard to give this a little extra protection. And I really would like it to be double boxed with some padding around the sides, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I don't have a box that's, I mean, if this is going to be 12 by 12 by 6, and then I'm going to stack this on top of it, 10 by 8 by 6. This one will have a little room for some padding, but the bottom one will not. I think I'm going to try to fit all of these in a 12 by 12 by 12 box. I don't know if that's going to be possible because this box is already 12 by 12 on the sides, but we'll try it, see what happens. I hope it works out. We'll see. So there should be 2 layers of cardboard around all sides of these boxes, and then if I can get this box inside here, I'll finish this up by wrapping this, basically the entire box, in tape and that good strong fiberglass reinforced tape so that the boxes can't split open. But I don't know if this is gonna work. So I just put that cardboard on the top. If I put that on the edge, then we've got 3 layers of cardboard between the books and the dangerous outside world. And then this box will hopefully fit here, but I think it's a way, there's no way that's fitting in there. All right, this box is a little bit tall, and I could force these flaps down, but only like half an inch. And I think this box is about probably a full inch too big to fit in here. Okay, my next option, and I don't think this is well, this could work, is to use 2 of these 16 by 16 by 5 boxes and put them together with then I do have room for padding and stuff around the edges. This box will be huge, and it will not be able to go by USPS. So let's try that. Okay, 15 by 15 by 4, not 16. So we'll start with that. See what that is. Nothing. I think it's just a warning telling me that it's turning notifications off, which is kind of ironic. Give me a notification about that. Okay, this box will definitely fit inside here with plenty of room around the edges for paper and bubbles and whatever else I decide. So I'm going to put a layer of paper on the bottom. Then put this inside. And now it's got probably 2 inches around all sides. Will I be able to fit this stuff in there? Maybe. might not be a good idea. No, this is not gonna work. So we're gonna have to just use a lot of paper. Trying to think of what else I have around here that could just be used for void fill, and I have these cardboard tubes, but I think they're too big, because really that's it. I could just put cardboard scraps on the sides. This is kind of what I wanted in the first place, to have something, the books in a box, and then some space around it so that they're totally protected as much as possible. If something goes wrong, this gets hit by a forklift or dropped off of a conveyor belt, that there's a lot of padding around to keep it from getting the damage from getting to the books themselves. Most of these books are from, like, I think the earliest one I had might be like 1959, and then they go through up to like 71 or 72. So these books have been taken care of for more than 50 years. I would hate for them to, something go wrong now after all this time. So this box is fine. I'm gonna add some paper in here so they can't move. There's about an inch gap. And here I filled with paper, I don't know if you can see. And this needs something on the top, because there is about 1/4 of an inch on the top of this before there's about a 1/4 inch gap. Knife. So put this in here. Kind of want more. That's good. Okay, so we'll seal this up. This is going to be on the inside, so it doesn't have to be sealed that well. And we're going to put that there. Now this one has a lot of room around, so probably could use some air bubbles, or just continue to use paper, whatever we decide. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try to pull these open flaps a little bit closed so I can slide another box over the top of this. Like a lid. I do this all the time, this technique of like just putting 2 boxes together. It's not that innovative. Nothing to get excited about, but this is gonna be a hell of a box by the time it's finished. So this box is 4 inches tall. How tall is this right now? 4 inches. Ideally I could just cut this where the flap is, but I think it needs to be a little bit taller than that. So I'm going to use my ruler I just had, and I'm going to make it whatever the width of this ruler is, that much taller. You'll see what I've got here as soon as I'm done. I'll show you. Okay, now this is scrap I could use. I might use it right now. All right, I think there's one around here I've done this to already that I should probably have used that one first, because these boxes are relatively expensive, these big 15 by 15 inch boxes. Okay, so this can come back over here. This is going to go on top like this. We're going to try to get some of this stuff inside, and I do want some padding on the top of here. I'm going to put this cardboard in as a little extra, just a little extra structure, and then I'm going to put paper in there, and then hold on to that for a second. Now, this is probably 3 to 4 inches around all sides of this box, so I don't think I could fill it with paper, but we still do have these bubbles. I don't love these things because I feel like they can pop at any moment, but people use them all the time, so it could be okay. And I want to get rid of them, but do I want to put these on a $500 box, or do I want to just go with the tried and true? I'm just going to use paper. I know the paper will work. It's just going to take a lot of it. I could use this cardboard now, these tubes, but they're pretty big, and I'd have to trim them down. So I could put one of those on each side. That would keep that from moving entirely. Do I have some shorter ones? I thought I had some shorter ones. Where did those tubes go? I don't know what I did with those. I had some half ones. Maybe I already used them for packing. Oh, I have an idea. How tall are these? 7 inches. 7 inches. That'll be fine. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this. This has got to be boring footage, but just kind of thinking on the fly, how can I fill all this void without, I mean, I use half of that roll of paper right there to fill this in. And I have tons of these small boxes. I put it right here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is good. I don't know if you can see what I've done. I think you can. So that should be plenty strong enough to keep that at least this way, and then I can just do paper on these sides. Let me put 2 of these cardboards in here. That fills up a little bit of space. I'm gonna fill this up pretty tight with this paper. I don't want this to move at all. And I have to remember, I think I will put some extra insurance on this if I can, because most of the standard shipping methods come with like $100 worth of insurance. And I haven't had any issues with any packages getting damaged in shipping, but I've rarely ever put extra insurance on anything, because I mean, I'm not selling that much stuff that is vastly greater than $100. So if I had a $120 item and it got damaged, at least I'd get my $100 back. And I could afford to lose that 20, but I couldn't afford to lose 480 or 420 or whatever this is going to be profit wise. Okay, now it's going to be much harder to get this lid on this time because it's these boxes are essentially the exact same size. So we're going to just be trying to stretch it a little bit and see what we can do. Okay, there we go. There we go. Good, good, good. Okay, so I'm just going to get a few pieces of this normal tape to hold this down, and then I'm going to get the fiberglass reinforced tape and use that to really, really ensure that these two boxes will never separate until somebody wants them to. So I don't know how big this is now. 16 by 16 by 16 maybe. So it's pretty big. This is definitely going to be expensive to ship. I think somehow this guy only paid $10 shipping. Maybe I put $10 flat rate shipping on it. I don't remember. So I'm closing up the corners where these gaps open, closing that with tape and taping the lid on at the same time. It'd probably be fine to leave these gaps open, but I don't feel good about it. So I'll close them up. How long have we been on this project right now? 10 minutes? 20? I don't know. Most of the way done, but I do have some more straps I want to put on. Okay, so this tape, I have it on this dispenser, but it's not really useful because it has these strands of fiberglass running through it, and this dispenser will not cut that. There's no way it could. This stuff is very intense. It's expensive, so I reserve it for, only when it's really necessary. And I want to just get it all the way around. Where'd my knife go? Sometimes even the knife doesn't cut through it that well, so I had to cut that and tear it. I'm basically gonna do I don't know. I'm gonna do 2 straps on around every dimension, every angle. I don't feel like this box is likely to split open because it's not really that heavy and it's not packed super tight, but it's possible. The only time I've ever had issues with boxes bursting open is from books. Whoops, I think like 2 times in my life. One, like many years ago, I shipped some magazines. This is back in the eBay days when you had to just collect checks from people and cash the check and then ship their items out. I think it was a big box of magazines that never arrived, and I can't remember, like, how would I have refunded somebody back then? Send them a check in the mail, I guess. Anyway, that package never arrived, and then like 6 months later, the post office delivered back to me the top flap of the box with the shipping label on it, and nothing, like the rest of the box totally was gone. So I might use up the whole rest of this roll of this tape right now in this project. This has got to be riveting footage. Okay, this should be the last one. So I got 2 straps going in on every side of this box. Mostly what I'm worried about is these corners. That's where I think it's like almost, if it's gonna split, that's where it's gonna happen. All right, almost done. All right, this box is complete. So I'm gonna get labels for these 4 packages, and then I'm gonna come back, tell you exactly how much profit we made on each of these items and how much total we made for the whole day. So stick around for that. All right, it took a lot to get this box packed up, but it is done. And if I had shipped this through the USPS, the regular post office, it was going to be about $60. So it's going FedEx and it's going to be about $21. So a big difference. So I know a lot of people would say UPS over FedEx, and it's just not convenient for me. The UPS, there's no UPS office near me. So I'm doing FedEx, and I have not had any issues really with after the fact charges. That's what I hear people complain about FedEx a lot, that you'll ship something and then later on they'll charge you another $20 or whatever because they say you put the wrong weight or the wrong dimensions. I haven't had that issue. I had one package that I got one of those charges, and it was for like $1.96. So I'm not too concerned about that. But okay, let's see. All 4 of these are ready to go. That little envelope cost 74 cents. Let's go over profits. I'm getting my computer here. This box is kind of in the way, so sorry about that, but here we go. So, vintage MXR guitar effects pedal sticker. New old stock. After fees and everything, it earned $7.46. So is it worth it? I guess it is. I'm keeping some old thing into in the environment and it's going to somebody who's going to enjoy it. So I make $7 on it. It's okay. I'm going by smallest to highest again. The signed comic book, Packins Land. This one, I'm not sure what happened here. I didn't charge enough shipping. I charged only $5.25 shipping, and it cost $7.47. So that book in the end only earned $9.35 after it was in my inventory for a year and a half. The car stereo installation kit, again, $9.69. So we got like 3 items that are less than $10, but then we got this box of books. So Alfred Hitchcock's The Three Investigators, 28 book collection. I paid $25 for it, for the whole box. I sold that box for $640. I charged $10.04 shipping. The actual shipping was like $21.25. So I undercharged on that. Maybe I did that on purpose. I can't remember. And then the eBay fees were kind of killer on this, $98.64. So in the end, after cost of goods and shipping and fees and everything, we earned $505.15 on this book. So this is a good book. I mean, this is a good box of books. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for the day that I found these books. I found other books at this same sale and I sold them for similar amounts of money. So that was one of the best garage sales I've ever been to. Total profit for today, add all those numbers up and we're at $531.65. So a good sales day, definitely a good sales day for me. That gives us an average profit per day for the month of November. Right now we're on the 6th of November, so we've got 6 days here. And the average profit per day is $245.09. I'm trying to keep this profit per day average to $203 at least, because that's the amount that I need to hit my $50,000 goal for the year. Now, it seems good. 245 is well over 203, but it doesn't take long. If we just have like 2 days, let's see. If I had 2 days where I earn only $50, if the next 2 days I only earn $50, we're at 196, so we're already below the target average. So we definitely need to keep those profits up every day of this month and of December if we want to get to 50 grand. And I do want to get there. If we don't get there, it's going to be fine. But stick around with me, follow along. I'm making videos every single day. At least through the end of the year, I'm going to make a video a day tracking how much I'm earning and trying to get to this 50 grand goal. So if you want to see if I'm going to make it, then subscribe and come along with us. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much. I'm going to take these to the post office. Tomorrow, I'm going to take this to the FedEx office, and then I'm going shopping. So look out for a video in the thrift stores. This is going to be my second time point of view shopping, and I'm still not that comfortable with it. I've only done it once before, but people are asking me to do it, so I'm going to try to do it. So tomorrow or the next day, we're going to be out shopping. So I hope to see you there.